NAMM show. Thank you for giving us your first appointment of the show. I appreciate that. Well, as you can see, there have been some changes around here at Sabian, and I'm going to talk about 2 points this morning. The first one is, for years we've been making new and interesting sounds, and we've been adding and adding and adding to our list of different cymbals that we make. It's also been somewhat confusing to keep up with some of those changes. And so, to make it easier for percussionists, players, drummers to understand each different cymbal and what it's good for, if it's good for them, what application it is, we're endeavoring this year to simplify the messaging, to make it easier to understand, not only for the player, but also for the retailer to understand which cymbals are best to keep in inventory, and hopefully how many. The other thing we're working on is our message. Now, for years we've talked about how we do what we do, and although we are different from most companies, that has not been enough to actually separate us in the minds of most people from those other companies. Now it's time for us to talk about why we do what we do. So everybody knows that, the hows and the whys, hand hammering. The why is, we've always, from the beginning, wanted to help the player have that artistic, creative voice that they wanted, to be able to play the way they want to be able to express themselves musically as clearly and as uniquely as they possibly can. So we hand hammer cymbals because we appreciate the artistry and the craftsmanship of not only drumming, but also of making cymbals. We hand make our cymbals because we respect the fact that we're working with a living metal, that it has energy, that it has personality. We hand make all of our cymbals because we want to inject our energy into that cymbal so that when the player gets it and they put their energy into it, it makes a unique sound specifically to what they're looking for. And we have in the past, and we will continue to fearlessly innovate, to bring new sounds for players to use, because we think they deserve that artistic, unique voice. Now, business acumen would dictate that we automate, that we cut out the inefficient, that we maximize profits. If we did that, then yep, we would be just another hollow company with a nice name. Yeah, you got that one, Rich. But we're not. No, we don't make products. We make instruments. We make living instruments. We respect the craft of drumming, and we respect the craft of cymbal making. So drummers are definitely a special breed. There's no doubt about it. We play well with others, no question. But at the same time, we don't like to be dictated to. We don't like to be told how to act or how to express ourselves musically. We play emotionally and physically. And at Sabian, we don't just get that. We live that every day. And so, we are not bound by the principles or the conventions of others. We do things differently because it's the right way to do it. And like our drummers, we at Sabian are unbound. And so, let's move on to talk about some of Gon Bops. I'd like to introduce Louis Cardoso. Oh, and I'll be back with a few closing remarks in a moment.
Thanks, Andy. Good morning. Thank you for being here. It's good to see everybody here. A lot of friends in the crowd. It's been about 9 years since Andy acquired the Gon Bops brand, a very exciting brand, and I still remember the day I heard that I was going to be working on that brand, and it's been a real trip since then. We've had some great growth the last 3 or 4 years. This year was no exception. The Gon Bops booth, which is on the other side of this booth, definitely come by and check it out. You'll see a focus this year on some Fiesta products. That's our entry-level brand, and one of the things that we've made a real focus is bringing quality and sound to the entry level. It's something you don't see a lot at that price point, and we always spend a great deal of effort to ensure that our instruments at that level sound great and they're going to last for years. So you'll see some new Fiesta djembes. There's one right here. You'll see some bells, great sounding bells. and other products. So definitely stop by and see what we've got to offer. And stay tuned to Gon Bops because we've got more really cool stuff coming up about halfway through the year, some new Alex Acuna products. So we're going to have a kick-ass year, and I hope you're part of it. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Mark Love to talk about some new exciting cymbals from Sabian.
Good morning, everyone. Doesn't the booth look great? Hats off to Doug and the crew. It's bright, it's fresh. It's a perfect backdrop for the new AAX. I'd like to talk a little bit about the history of AAX. Originally, AAX was introduced in '93. That's over 25 years ago now. And it soon became one of our most popular series, modern, bright sound. And it continued to grow over the years. We introduced models like the Omni, the Raw Bell Dry Rides, the Explosions, the Freak Crash, the Aero. It just grew and it continued to sell well. So in the last few years, we've been really listening to drummers and what they had to say. And we found that the catalog had built so large that it was becoming confusing. There were so many SKUs, they didn't understand the terminology. So we did a little bit of a poor job in communicating our models. So this year with the new AAX, we're eliminating 46 SKUs and we're adding 26 models back. So it's more refined, more focused, more clear. So the new lineup, as I said, we're keeping the Explosions and all the most popular ones, but the new lineup in the rides, the 20 and 22, we have thin ride, medium ride, and heavy ride. 21s, we have the thin ride and medium, and we're keeping the Raw Bell Dry Ride as the heavy. The crashes, we have 16 through 20 in AX thin crash. These are all in brilliant and natural, by the way. And we have medium crash. We have the 16, 18, and 20 medium crash. Hi-hats, 14, we have thin hats and medium, and 15 we have the medium. Now normally right now I would talk about how we make it, how we hammer it. You know what? That really doesn't matter. How we make it, it's what we're creating that really matters. It's the voice of the cymbal and what the drummers make that voice, how they personalize it and make it their own. So I will talk about how they sound. AAX are thinner, the new models are thinner, they have perfect highs and darker lows, they have a wider spectrum of sound between the low and the high, they have more mid-range. It's just really a perfect sounding cymbal. So we've got the perfect line for all you drummers out there. Take advantage of it, check it out, and create your own sound. Now I'd like to bring Andy back up, say a few words. Thank you.
Yeah. So you all know Mark. Mark has been our cymbal guru for some time. One of the things that I like most about Mark is he's never afraid to try something new. He is the fearless innovation, the innovator at the company. Another thing that I like most about Mark is when somebody has an idea, a sound that may be a little bit different, he doesn't judge. It's the one you want. We'll make it. That's different from everybody else. We don't judge. We're drummers too. We're part of it. So anyway, I love cymbals. They make my hair stand up when I hear them. Mark loves cymbals. When he comes up with something new, God man, I can feel it right here. So come up and enjoy our energy. Enjoy the new cymbals. Have a great show and thank you for your time. I appreciate it.